Alrighty, so this was the 11th, literally the day after the Night Stalker update released. They have added in some of the combat updates. New A of E attacks. Implemented area of effect attacks, which will hit any enemies within a radius around you. This is implemented on various stomp attacks, such as for Alberta and Amargasaurus. With this feature, your dinosaur's feet no longer have to hit your target in order to damage them, making aiming this attack much easier and more intuitive. Stamina changes. They have adjusted stamina values for most creatures. Previously, certain dinos had a wide variety of stamina values, ranging from very high stamina for small dinosaurs like Camptosaurus to very little stam for large creatures like Sarco. This made the Venom status effect, which drains stam over time, much more effective against some creatures compared to others. We have now adjusted stam values for all creatures so they are even across the board, but certain dinosaurs drain their stamina faster depending on their playstyle, attacks, running speed, and regeneration rates. This change ensures that Venom is now much more consistent across all creatures, which will make creatures that rely on Venom, like Metri and Mega, have a much better time hunting their prey. And hello there, Dak, how are you doing this morning? Adjustments to Bleed, Venom, and Bone Break. They have also made some changes to the way other status effects affect creatures. Previously, the weight of dinosaur played a large role in determining how much Bone Break, Venom, and Bleed damage was inflicted on a defending dinosaur. They have now adjusted this value so status effects are more consistent across all creatures. This means creatures that can inflict status effects can better rely on their abilities to attack larger, heavier opponents. And I am glad to hear. For general updates, they fixed issues with the generic ability slot often used by modded creatures, causing unintended behaviors. Base game creatures do not use the generic ability slot. Fixed charge attacks occasionally not working after they are cancelled. Updated ability icons for a few different abilities. Adjusted text for dive ability to be accurate to ability's effect. Disabled bleed and venom damage in home caves. Reduced raptor bark ability to use slightly more stam, increased damage to 5%. Jumping rapidly now drains stam less quickly for all dinosaurs. This I honestly can appreciate. It's so difficult when you're trying to jump up on something and then wham bam you've realized that you've lost all of your stam. Now, for some general updates for different dinos. The Latin now has its hiss ability, and they updated the icon for the ability. Honk has its ripping kick. Metri, they improved its jump animations. They increased the Sarah's charged bite cooldown to 5 seconds and reduced leap to reduce fall damage by 20%. They removed incoming damage increase for Megalania Toxic Immunity Hide and reduced its leap to reduce fall damage by 20. For the Alio, they reduced Ambusher ability from 2 times damage to 1.5. They increased the bite damage and they reduced leap to reduce fall damage. For the Suko, they improved the bite damage window and lowered base damage of claw attack. Aloe lowered base damage of claw attack. Sarco now requires 4 group slots. They increased the Sarco charged bite cooldown to 5 seconds. Lowered bleed amount of ripping bite. Sarco can now bite immediately after using crushing bite. And they reduced the ambusher ability for Sarco from 2 times damage to 1.5. Sorry, guys. Okay. For the T-Rex, they added a balanced ability and increased the tail attack damage. Interesting. For the Thala, they reduced the bite attack cooldown to 1 second. Thank you. And improved the bite hit registration. Beautiful. Beautiful. For the Campto, they added the Lone Survivor ability. They also did this for the Struthi. The Packy now has a kick, and they changed the leap to use the back limb slot. They added the Lone Survivor ability for Kintro as well. They updated the Kintro Spike's passive damage to only do 1 raw damage, and bleed damage now scales with growth. And they disabled Kintro's Vault temporarily. For the Anno, they reduced the bone break amount to decreased tail slam damage amount. Fortify now uses 10 seconds to activate, and tail slam now does area of effect damage, of course. An Anno now uses 4 group slots as adult. For the Sty, they added the balanced ability. The Frill now causes bleed. Sorry guys, give me just a second. Okay, they reduced the headbutt bleed amount, increased the run speed slightly. They reduced balanced legs turning speed to 15%. Oh, didn't catch the poor little Alberta right there. So for the Alberta, they reduced balanced legs turning speed to 15%. Disabled the vault temporarily. I'm not even sure what that is. And updated the stomp ability to use area of effect damage and particle effect. For the Lamb, we now have the balanced ability and a kick ability. Our lovely Amargasauruses have gotten an increased stomp cooldown to 5 seconds. And they updated the stomp to be usable when walking and trotting. The Stego, they fixed the solar-powered ability, not applying the correct stam regeneration and not displaying icon when active. The Iguanodon has a back kick ability. Hello there, Zanoni! How are you? The Barsboldia, they removed the knockback effect, but they increased the headbutt damage. I will say, it was hilarious yesterday playing Barsboldia with the knockback and just fucking yeeting those, what were they, Pycnos? Also Aloes, I think it was, that we fought at one point. Okie dokie. Sorry, guys. The EO, they reduced the balanced legs turning speed to 15% as well. How are you, Zanoni? For some general updates, changing gender or subspecies will cause shedding to occur, adding the 5-minute cooldown. Updated confirmation for character edit to mention the growth penalty when changing gender or subspecies. Implemented feed group member quest. Now this is really interesting to me, guys. Quest works similarly to the find and eat food quest, but for groups. This quest is prompted to find food for the hungry group member and will earn a marks reward when they are fed. See if gifts from the sea quest will only be obtainable by flyers. Thank God, because that one could be quite difficult. Especially for larger, slower dinosaurs. They added the random color button to the character edit screen, so that this is really cool too. I'll show it off to y'all. It is a dice button that will randomize colors for a dinosaur under the selected skin. The button is only available if the second tier or higher of colors is unlocked for the current skin, so that way it actually has a pool of colors to choose from, you know? Currently selected color in the character edit screen will now remain highlighted when switching colors and color options. Thank God. That's super helpful. And added a random color button to the store UI as well, which is awesome. Dinosaur heads now follow camera while swallowing. I'm not gonna lie, I thought they already did that, but now they definitely do. Newly available for purchase ability and skin notifications will now appear in multiplayer. Holding sprint while auto running now brings dinosaur to a trot. Now we've got some updates for Gondwa. Numerous map updates to improve foliage, add new points of interests and caves, and rework multiple areas. Updated the minimap to be more accurate. Thank you. If anyone happens to know how to get like just a flat PNG of it, if y'all could send it to me. It needs to be nice and clear too. That way we can work on making a new food and resource map. Because of course, the one that we have right now is quite outdated at this point. Increased Gondwa local quests, red text quests, to reward roughly twice the amount of marks as before. I know that's a big one that a bunch of people were wanting. They replaced Hilltop Haven with Birch Woods. Not gonna lie, I don't even know where that is. But I do know where a birchwood biome is, and it is really pretty, and we will go all over the map today. I intend on spending the entire day in the public test branch, just walking around and growing and whatnot. And if anybody wants to join me, of course you're welcome to. I can walk you through how to get into the public test branch. Want to do that, and that would be awesome, because then we could also test some of the new abilities. Good, sorry, working as well. No worries at all. I am glad to hear that you... Thank you for that posture check. Ooh. Stretch. Okie dokie. They also fixed the birch trees blocking the player camera. Which, of course, a lot of this because, of course, like, we don't have birch trees in the production branch, I don't think. I may have seen a few the other day while we were playing. But bugs from the last time when they added all of this stuff into the public test branch, I guess. So now they're fixing some of the bugs. Fixed group meet salt flats, text not being localized. Map fog of war added. Oh. So when you pull up the map, when you first go into the server now, it's like all blurred out. You can't see it all until you've like been to that area. That must be what that means. Added text chained quests. Now right now I did go test them out and I will show y'all them, of course. They are very basic right now, but I mean I still like them. Still gives you more purpose to the quest that you're doing. So we'll go check that out, of course. End quests, Gondwa map bug fixes, and filter tints added to various points of interest. Those are pretty cool from what I've seen too. Handjura, they fixed beech forest bushes moving too much in the wind during a storm, and improved rock cliff textures. They also added the fog of war to the map. We've got some more general fixes. They fixed the Latin's lower jaw, clipping when placing items down. Fixed the Sty's crouch animations sliding. Removed bones from the Kaiwekia Fisher diet. Fixed the Lacidromius breaking too quickly. Bro. This had me like flying while I was trying to break, because I'm so used to them breaking like right when you want to. Fun. Fixed issue where player could not rotate with precise movement while swallowing a chunk of meat. Swim down, fly down is now unbindable in control setting menu. Fixed camera invert settings not applying correctly on mobile. Input will no longer become stuck after opening virtual keyboards. Fixed caves not loading fast enough when spinning the camera quickly, causing small pop-in. And added a check to allow single-player users to make announcements in their own game. Some known issues that they had when they updated, when they threw out that update, was that the Anno's Tail Slam didn't do damage. The area of effect didn't count for local damage. The feed group member quest wasn't appearing if a player already had 2 group quests. Gifts from the sea were obtainable by non-flyers. Jumping stam drain on sub-adult characters is significantly higher than for adult. And currently selected color and character edit screen were not remaining highlighted when switching colors and color options. But they released another update a few days ago on the 15th. So, they fixed the Tail Slam and Amargasaurus Stomp not dealing damage correctly. Fixed an issue where the Kaiwekia rest was sometimes delayed by a few seconds if they were slightly drifting in the water. Fixed Gondwa minimap texture issue. Stamina no longer drains in home caves. Thank you. Removed quest reward banking exploit. Uncollected quests will fail upon death. I know this is one that's got a lot of people upset. I get it. I get both sides. I get why people are upset, but I also get why they did it, because it removed the risk and penalty factor of death entirely. And it doesn't really help get rid of the giant mega groups players at all. Zanoni, thank you so much for the cheer of 100 biddies. I appreciate it. You're amazing, lovely. Thank you. Maybe like once. I just feel like once they start getting more of these like good quests in, we're not just collecting nuts and stuff all the time. It'll be better. It'll get better in the future. But I get it. I get why it's upsetting for some people. But I also get why they did it. I don't necessarily know if they should have referred to it as an exploit though. It's more or less that they just realized the feature didn't actually do any good. Well, I mean, obviously it did good, but not in the intended, you know. Y'all get what I'm trying to say, hopefully. Group members can no longer collect for group quests outside of the questing area either. They did some crash fixes, and then there was just some other miscellaneous fixes that they did. But that covers all of the changelog updates that they have done. So let me go ahead and pull my game up and we'll get this started.